Joining us now is Tennessee Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn. As always, Ms. Blackburn, welcome. You heard what Kay Bailey Hutchison said. First of all, what I want to know is March 27th is another one of these big dates. The so-called continuing resolution to fund the government ends. Will there, in your judgment, be a government shutdown?
No, there will be another continuing resolution. We will do what we've always done. And Larry, bear in mind, we bring forward the continuing resolutions in the House. We even pass a budget. It's been over 4 years since the Senate did so. And I think that many of us in the House are looking at this and we're saying, look, this is another chapter in the Obama drama. This is what he's pushing for, to make it look as if it's going to be draconian. These are going to be disastrous. But you know what? A lot of us have served in state legislators. We have made across-the-board cuts. We have always heard these. We know it's not going to be disastrous. We know that we, together with the American people, we are going to work through this. And the president needs to start to show some leadership. Senator Hutchison is exactly right on this. This is a time for him to prove that he is capable of leading this nation and step forward and say, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to work with the House, work through this budget line by line.
Congresswoman, this is Steve McMahon. How are you this evening?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Quick question for you, because I think you're right. I think the president has a role to play, but doesn't Congress have a role to play? And shouldn't the Democratic leadership in the Senate, the Republican leadership in the House, and the executive branch be sitting down right now, going through it line by line?
Absolutely.
And isn't that what your constituents, all of your constituents, elected you to do?
Steve, you're exactly right. My constituents are saying, look, let's protect the military because we want to protect them, provide them reprogramming authority, but let's get over here in discretionary and let's quadruple the cuts over there. We need to reduce this spending.
Okay,
and you're right that the president should be sitting down right now with the Senate leadership and saying, take these bills up that the House is sending you. They've already sent you bills that would deal with this.
Congresswoman, so I understand that your constituents would like to take the discretionary cuts and triple them, and the Democratic constituencies would like to take the defense cuts and triple them, but neither of those things are going to happen. So at what point does Congress sit down with the administration and say, we're not going to get everything we want on the Republican side? Democrats have to say, we're not going to get everything we want on the Democratic side. But when does this happen? Because America is being held hostage again. You saw what happened.
Well, we've got a month. I just want to add the key point here. Point here, Marsha, is will there be a government shutdown March 27th? Will you have? You're going to have a Republican print next week, from what I gather, in the House. What will the Senate Democrats do?
My hope is that they're going to take it up and take some serious action on it. You know, the president has gotten his tax increases. It is time now to focus on how much we're going to spend and rein this out of control Washington spending in. Everybody we're talking to, everybody is saying you have to start reducing what the federal government spends. Get inside some of this waste. It's past time.
Congresswoman,
yes.
Hi, Kay Hutchison.
Yes.
Let me ask you on the entitlement side. This is what nobody's been talking about yet, but we know that discretionary spending is going to be about 35%, maybe 40% of the total budget. The rest is entitlements. It's not anything you have a choice about. So is there talk behind the scenes? Is the president sitting down with Congress? Are you all talking now about where you can meet in the minds, because the president has mentioned that he would go along with CPI, as has Nancy Pelosi, and maybe starting to edge up the age of retirement, which we know is unsupportable both in Social Security and Medicare. Is that going on right now as part of either March 27th and the government funding, or down the road?
Well, what you're going to see is Republicans will bring forward a budget and take it to the House floor that will balance in 10 years. And what you have to do is look at the entitlements, of course, which Medicaid is the largest. And then you also have to look at the stabilization of the trust funds, which are Medicare and Social Security. And you're right, there are lots of good ideas that are out there that are ways that this can be done so that obligations are met to today's seniors and near seniors, and then you look at other options. There are ways also that we're hearing from some of our governors for looking at the issues of Medicaid, for looking at what is happening through some of our welfare and support programs. The point is this is an opportunity for us to begin to make some cuts, to begin to reduce what the federal government spends, and we're committed to it.
I sincerely hope you're right. And what I'm hearing from you is no government shutdown, one way or the other, March 27th. You're going to take the continuing resolution.
I don't think you will. We're working toward not only a continuing resolution, but Larry, we're working toward that budget that is going to balance in 10 years. I think the American people are very clear on this. Get the job done.
Congressman Marsha Blackburn, Tennessee, we appreciate it very, very much.
Absolutely.
Now